All right, Wilbon, where did Josh Allen and the Bills rank against other teams from all sports overshadowed by a dynasty?
Ooh. Well, Tony, the dynasties, if you look at them across sports, they usually feast on a bunch of different people, right? I mean, they got different meals and people they snack on. Like the Jordan Pippen Bulls, Phil Jackson Bulls, they took out Ewing, Barkley, Malone, Stockton, Reggie Miller. They took out half the dream team, if not half of more than half that. They Chris Mullin, because he was on Indiana by then, took out Clyde Drexler when he was on Portland once. But I'm thinking about, of course, the 40s and 50s Yankees beat the Brooklyn Dodgers a bunch of times until the Dodgers finally broke through.
All the time.
Bill Russell's Celtics owned Jerry West and Elgin Baylor and the Lakers. I think, wasn't Jerry West? Jerry would talk about that. It's like 1-7 or something. The Celtics owned them. So those teams, they were great in their own, and they ultimately moved up and they won the Dodgers, those Brooklyn Dodgers and the Lakers. But Buffalo has been unable to do that so far, which is why I feel for Buffalo, the team and Bills Mafia and the whole posse of them.
Yeah, I mean, rank them. What am I going to rank them? Am I ranking them? What's the scale? The heartbreak scale? I mean, look, they went out there yesterday and they played a wonderful game. Josh Allen doesn't turn the ball over, does everything you ask him to do, and still can't win. And we both feel for Josh Allen and the Bills because you think to yourself, they can't beat Kansas City in Kansas City in the playoffs. They can't do it. And it is part of the DNA of the Buffalo Bills, who did something that nobody's ever done. If Kansas City wins this, that's 3 straight Super Bowls that they win. Buffalo went to 4 straight. Nobody's done it. Lost all 4. And now they're in a position where this team can't even get there. And you root. I mean, again, Mike, we talked about this for a few weeks. To me, the perfect Super Bowl was going to be Detroit and Buffalo. Teams that, never have won it. At least one of them is going to win it. And I take nothing away from Kansas City. They're a great championship team. They are. But if you are a great championship team, there's always going to be another team that you beat.
Or teams, plural. And that's just the thing.
Yeah.
When you take all comers and you beat them all, I mean, that's special in its own way rather than just feasting on one. Although I bet the old Celtics like it the way they did it, which was beating up on the Lakers. That's it. We're done. Back to you.
Love history lesson, fellas, coming up. Before Tiger and Rory face off in the TGL, we're going to speak with both. A pre-match interview as they warm up for tonight's showdown. More SportsCenter on the way. Where Josh Allen and the Bills stack up against other teams that have been overshadowed by a dynasty. Plus, it's Introduce Your New Coach Monday in the NFL, how Jerry landed on Shoddy, and what Aaron Glenn is preparing the Jets fans for. But first, we start with breaking news out of the NBA as senior NBA insider Shams Charania joins us now. Shams, what news do you have for us regarding Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat?
Hannah, the Miami Heat have suspended Jimmy Butler indefinitely. This is his 3rd suspension just this month, delivered by the Miami Heat for essentially conduct detrimental to the team and what the team describes repeated issues and violations of team rules. I'm told here's what happened today. Butler showed up to Heat shoot around and walked out after being informed that he was not going to be in the starting lineup moving forward in place of Haywood Highsmith. And that's tonight's game against Orlando. His 2-game suspension, his most recent suspension had just ended, but this will now keep him away from the team for at least the next 5 more games before the NBA trade deadline on February 6th. And Hannah, the phone lines in Miami have been wide open ever since this entire saga began earlier this month when Butler requested for a trade. He had 2 different suspensions, one of 7-game and then one of 2-game suspension, and now he will be suspended indefinitely. I'm told the Heat remain engaged with multiple teams on potential Butler deals that will remain so over the next week and a half. They have not yet received an offer that matches their asking price. But Hannah, we have some time left before the NBA trade deadline next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a week from Thursday. You just look at their history, 2 trips to the NBA Finals with Jimmy Butler, but it has now devolved to this point. Shams, thank you. It's a new era in Dallas. The Cowboys introducing Coach Brian Schottenheimer today, promoting their offensive coordinator to the top spot. The 51-year-old has never been a head coach, but he has been around the game his entire life as son of legendary coach Marty Schottenheimer. Here is the new head coach on the opportunity.
This business has never been about X's and O's. It's about people. And when I thought about it, I can't imagine sitting up here with a better group of people, a better family to do this with. So I thank you guys for that opportunity. It's been an incredible journey. I've had some opportunities when I was a much younger man that I didn't feel like I was ready. I'm ready now.
To some, and it might be couched as a less than glamorous hire. What I would say to you is I got here taking shots and not shoddy shots. I got here taking shots. Good things have happened. Let me tell you something. There's some stuff to be had over there where not many people go.
That was vintage Jera defending his choice. Dallas is in a sticky situation in regards to its roster. They are already over the projected salary cap, and they have players like DeMarcus Lawrence and Zach Martin, key players set to hit free agency. And then there's this, Micah Parsons entering the final year of his contract. He is looking for a big extension. For more, here's our Cowboys reporter, Todd Archer.
Jerry Jones called the hiring of Brian Schottenheimer a risk, but not a Hail Mary. He might have been the most popular hire among Cowboys fans, angry at a 29-year-old Super Bowl drought and how the Jones family operates, but he laid out what he wants from his players: toughness, discipline, passion. He laid out his vision on offense: cut splits, shifts and motions, mirroring the run and pass game and playing up-tempo. Right now, his first order of business is filling out his coaching staff, which is why Schottenheimer will not be going to the Senior Bowl this week in Mobile, Alabama. Some assistance from Mike McCarthy's staff will remain, but there'll be a new defensive coordinator with former Bears coach Matt Eberflus leading the way. The goal is to have the staff wrapped up as quickly as possible. Hannah, there's plenty of work to do after a 7-10 finish in 2024.
Sure is, Todd. Thank you. Meanwhile, the Jets, with plenty of work to do as well, unveiled their GM, Darren Muji, and new coach. Former Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, who returns to the team where he played and he was a scout for a decade, now takes over a squad with a 14-year playoff drought and facing questions about the future of Aaron Rodgers. Here's Glenn.
To any players that's here now, put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. Listen, there are going to be some challenges, but with challenges becomes opportunity, gets opportunity. But here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit. Listen, I want this job. I interviewed for a number of them, but I wanted this job. Here's what I do know. Aaron Rodgers will be talked about. It will be talked about. We've already texted that communication with Aaron Rodgers. And as we continue to look at the roster, we'll make decisions accordingly. And that's with a number of people, right, on the team.
Stay tuned, Jets fans. Meanwhile, the Raiders introduced their new head coach, a familiar face in Pete Carroll, out of the game for a year after that 14-year run with the Seahawks that included a Super Bowl win and another trip the next year. The 73-year-old Carroll will be the oldest coach in the NFL next season.
With the Raiders and this opportunity, I feel like I've been there before, and I'm going to bank on that. And I'm going to follow my instincts and support with John and through as we extend to ownership in a way that we're going to be proud of. We want to fill our stadium up with our guys. I know that we have a good draw for people from out of town. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Mark, settle down a little bit.
Referring to Mark Davis, of course. We've got just one head coach opening in the NFL now. The Saints, they fired Dennis Allen in November. He was just named Bears defensive coordinator. New Orleans has interviewed at least 6 candidates. The new coach will try to snap a 4-year playoff drought. Senior NFL insider Adam Schefter joins us now. So, Shefty, what is the latest on this final job opening in New Orleans?
Well, Hannah, if we go back to the start of this hiring cycle, most people looked at the New Orleans Saints job and figured that the 2 names that figured prominently in their search would be Aaron Glenn and Mike McCarthy. Well, Aaron Glenn got the head coaching job in New York with the Jets at his introductory press conference today. Mike McCarthy is still out there, and he's expected to interview this week for the New Orleans Saints head coaching job. Now, they did conduct an impressive interview this past weekend with Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver and Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, and they are supposed to be talking to the Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore as well. But I think a lot of people around the league still look to Mike McCarthy as a name that would make a lot of sense in New Orleans. And I think right now he is certainly a favorite, if not the favorite for the job, but they are still going through their process, and we will see how it plays out here in the days to come.
Listen, Super Bowl winning head coach, only 1-3 in the playoffs with Dallas, but a lot of opportunity there for improvement and in that division. So we'll see. Shefty, thank you, as always. And ahead on SportsCenter, one more new head coach speaking today with one very memorable moment. We'll hear Liam Cohen as he takes control of the Jaguars.
Back to back.
I want to get 3, though.
Guess who's coming back again? The Kansas City Chiefs are going to pull this off.
Tough feeling to come up short, but I know that the only direction is to rise.
The Eagles annihilate the Washington Commanders.
First time you get out here, we're stepping on the field to dominate. All that we go through, all that we've been through, even this moment right here.
Super Bowl 59 is set with a rematch of Super Bowl 57 between the Eagles and Chiefs. For more, let's go by the numbers on how they got here. Kansas City needing a season-high 32 points to get by Buffalo. That snapped a 28-game streak without scoring more than 30 points, which was the second longest active streak in the NFL behind the Patriots. That was surprising. With a narrow 3-point win, it extends what is already an NFL record for the Chiefs. They have now won 17 straight one-score games. It also marked Mahomes' fourth straight fourth-quarter comeback win, also an NFL record. And in Philly, the Eagles scored a conference championship record 55 to beat the Commanders. They scored 7 touchdowns on the ground, tying a record held by the 1940 Bears, who won the championship game 73-0. Here's Saquon Barkley afterwards.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing. We're here, Super Bowl. But the goal wasn't just getting there. The goal is to win. And we're going to celebrate, enjoy this, and get right back to work.
It's just so hard to get to the Super Bowl, and I don't take it for granted. And to be able to do it again at Arrowhead was special. I mean, last year it was awesome. You get there and you win it. You're at a different stadium, and then being able to win it, and then you get that trophy on that stage, and you look around, and there's not a seat empty. It is a special place, and I'm glad that I get to be a part of Chiefs Kingdom, these moments that I'll have for the rest of my life.
Mahomes and Hurts will meet the Super Bowl once again, making it the 4th time in Super Bowl history that starting quarterbacks have multiple meetings. And in each of the previous 3 instances, the quarterback who won the first meeting also went on to win the second. So Mahomes looking to make it 4 for 4 in Super Bowl 59. Now, when it comes to Josh Allen and the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes wins all the matchups, improving to 4-0 against the Bills quarterback. It wasn't like Allen had a bad game. He threw for 237 yards and 2 touchdowns, putting his body on the line over and over to pick up those key first downs, but it didn't matter in the end. Here's Allen after another excruciating playoff exit.
It's not fun, but to beat the champs, you gotta. To beat the champs, you got to beat the champs, and we didn't do it tonight. Guys made some plays today. We got to make one more and score one more point than them, and we didn't do that tonight. They're the best, but we just want to get it done, and we haven't been able to.
Tough to put much blame on Josh Allen for the playoff shortcomings. He is the playoffs' all-time leader in combined passing and rushing yards per game, as well as touchdown to interception ratio. And all he has to show for it, 8 wins, the most by any quarterback without a Super Bowl appearance. For more on Allen, here's PTI's bonus segment, Tony and Mike.